All right, so part 3 of Mr. C's sale and Mr. Watts' purchase. We know that the home is 1,656 square feet. We know the sales price is $156,000 or $165,000, and we know the commission that Mr. C is going to be paying is $9,900. But he wants to know exactly what his total amount is going to be after everything is all said and done. So we know we got $165,000 and we minus $9,900. But we've also got a deed prep, which is generally around $125. And the seller pays that. So Mr. C is going to be paying that. The sales tax is going to be around $165. And that's based off the purchase price. So if we sell it for $165,000, Mr. C is going to pay about $165 for that. So Mr. C has owned this property for 5 months and 15 days. Now, is it fair for Mr. Watts to have to pay Mr. C's taxes what time he owned it? No. His portion of the taxes begin responsible the day he takes ownership. So Mr. C, what time he's living there, and we're closing on June 15th, he's responsible from January 1st up to June 15th of his taxes. So how are we going to determine what that number is? Let's just say, for example, Floyd County, not in city limits, is about a 1% multiplier. So let's say, just for example, Mr. C's property is assessed at $150,000. So it's assessed at the PBA office for $150,000. Okay, so that's going to be $1,500 per year, roughly. We're going to divide that by 360. Now 1,500 divided by 360 is 4166 per day. So we know he owned it for 5 months. So we're going to say it's 150 days and then 15 days in June. So that's plus 50, that's 155 days. So what we're going to do during the time Mr. C owned the house, we're going to take 155 and times it by 4.166. And that will give us the amount of taxes that Mr. C is responsible for, which comes out to $645.83. We'll round up to $646. So 646. That way, Mr. C is giving Mr. Watts $646 on June 15th. Mr. Watts is responsible for paying all the taxes at the end of the year, December 31st, when they become due. So now we got to determine what Mr. C is going to walk home with. So we've got $165,000 minus the commission. That's my favorite part. Minus the deed prep. Minus deed tax, and minus proration of the tax. Mr. C is walking away with $154,164. And that is this part. Next we're going to put on something else.